Right, good evening, everyone. I believe it's 7 o'clock. This will be the fifth Instagram Live with me, Carl Catling. And tonight we're going to be joined, our special guest is going to be Risborough Rangers midfielder, non-league sort of legend really, locally, Mr. Ben Sturgess. So I'm just waiting for him to log on and then we'll crack on. I'm mindful tonight, there's a big game tonight in the world of football, isn't there? Because it's Liverpool versus Arsenal. So I'm sure by 7:45 everyone wants to be tuning in into that. Do bear with us whilst Ben signs on. Okay. Sturge, do you want to try and invite yourself, bud? Try it that way if it's not working. Yeah, evening. Thank you. Oh, look at this. Here's my main man.
We're in. How are we?
Yeah, I'm good. It's been a hang on, bear with us, Sturge. Just move the camera and stuff. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has, mate. How's things? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. The dream team is back, everyone. Carlos and Sturgess show tonight, isn't it? I think, as I said to you, Ben and I were messaging around about Christmas time, wasn't it? Or just before Christmas, certainly. Sturge, obviously, you know, he loves to talk. He loves his football. Very, very passionate. And, you know, I was very, very blessed, Sturge, when he obviously reached out and said, I'll have a bit of this. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll definitely sort one out in the new year. And here we are tonight. But yeah, I think it's been, for me, literally watching you in person, it's been 13 months.
Well, since we did the first one, is that right?
Well, no. So 13 months since I last saw you play a game of football.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you missed out, mate. You missed out.
Lots happened in the world since then, hasn't it?
It has, mate. It has.
Yeah. Biceps, yeah. I agree with Alex there. Yeah, so obviously, those of you who haven't seen this before, so basically it's probably going to be 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Sturge and I just having a general chit chat, talking about football, non-league football himself, obviously. That's right, isn't it, Sturge?
Yeah, mate. I'm happy to talk about whatever you like, mate.
Okay, well, we might touch on Arsenal later. Obviously, it's a big game.
Well, mate, I'm just in the lineup, so best we don't.
Oh, right, okay. I've not looked at it yet. Not had a chance to. Great. And then Sturge is going to actually be shooting off to training, aren't you? Because you've got a late session tonight, haven't you, at Risborough?
Yeah, mate. It's Thursday night regular occurrence, 9 o'clock start, which isn't great. No, not getting home till 10:30, so the missus isn't particularly happy every Thursday, but it is what it is, mate. The joys of non-league football, eh?
It is. Right, so let's just get straight into it. It's the last game that you actually played at Risborough. Is it right? So you guys haven't had a game for, I'm trying to think what the date is today. Hang on, bear with me. So you guys haven't had a game for 10 days. Is that right?
3rd of Jan, mate, was obviously the last time we played, home to Tring. So obviously last Saturday was postponed, obviously.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, really disappointed about that because that was one we were all really looking forward to being involved in, and obviously the occasion. And so, yeah, that was unfortunate. Obviously, the weather got the better of us. But yeah, the Tring game was a bit of a difficult one, really. They're a good side, to be honest. They give us a real test. Obviously, AK popped up at the end to score 1-0, which was good. It's a good feeling. It was a good crowd down there. I mean, Wycombe Wanderers have sort of dragged an attachment to the club at the minute. So they brought a few fans down, which was good. Yeah, and obviously to win was obviously what we're aiming to do, and to score the goal late is obviously always nice, and the celebrations were good afterwards. Yeah,
I mean, I'm glad you mentioned the crowd and the draw, obviously, from other clubs if they're not playing locally. So Risborough had close to 250 there for that game, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, since I've been there, mate, the following's brilliant. I mean, it's a club that obviously is claims to be little old Risborough, but the following they get through the door is brilliant. I mean, everything from obviously from sort of turnstile wise all the way up to the top. The club's brilliant. Really enjoying my time there. So yeah, it was nice. It's nice to play in front of a few fans, a bit of an atmosphere, which is good.
Cool. Obviously, the club obviously sitting very firmly at the top at the moment, aren't they? So 54
we are, mate.
Points,
Yes.
54 points, a goal difference of plus 50 already in January.
A lot of that's to do with me, mate, setting a lot of the goals up. So that's a lot down to me.
So you've been there. So you've been there for 2 months, and it's all down to you. Yeah?
Well, not 2 months, mate. It's October. Well, yeah, roughly. Yeah, a few
that's
games.
All right. I was good about that. The 54 points, 50 goals, goal difference, obviously undefeated. Now, but beneath you guys, there's still a bit of a fight, isn't there? Sort of 2-3 teams that still potentially.
Oh, that's for sure, mate. It's credit to them as well, because obviously we're unbeaten, which is obviously a massive thing that gets blown out of proportion, in my opinion. I mean, it's a good feat, but I mean, you just have to take each game as it comes. It's a cliche, but it's so true with this. I mean, obviously we've got a test Saturday that's going to prove our credentials, and obviously we're not too fussed about what's going on, obviously below us. I mean, naturally you do check, but I mean, as long as we can only control what we can control, and as long as we do what we do, we won't have to worry about anyone else.
Cool. Obviously gutting, really, wasn't it, Saturday? Because actually, I know I was going to personally be coming to that game as well against Leighton Town. I mean, that would have been a huge game, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was, mate, and obviously it'd be nice to see you, and obviously that there was a few people that media-wise were popping down as well. So
yeah,
it was gutting. I mean, the weather got the better of us, and obviously, unfortunately, got the better of many sides. So it was a bit of a nightmare, really. But it will get put back to another day, and there's a lot of hype around it, obviously. Around Leighton and Risborough and what's gone on. So I mean, yeah, it wouldn't have bothered us. I mentioned previously that it's just another game of football. It's no emotional attachment. It's just play football. I mean, it'd have been lovely to play, but we'll get that chance again soon.
Cool. Milo would like to know whether that's a new shirt tonight.
It's a new one. Yeah, bless him. Must be his first Insta live. I can see all his comments popping up.
So, obviously, only being at Risborough for 2 months, Sturge, how do you sort of find the actual depth of the squad, and what do you see as the sort of strengths of the team?
The depth of the squad's incredible, mate, for the level we're at. I mean, it's one of them where if you're not playing well, you've got to look over your shoulder. You're going to football every Saturday thinking you're going to play or not, which is a good thing. I mean, there's an experience in there that obviously Lem's played at a very good level, which adds to obviously a dressing room, which helps. I mean, you've got some of us that have been around the non-league circuit for quite a while, and obviously there's some good, really, really good young lads. So there's a good balance in there. I mean, yeah, it's brilliant. I can't fault it. I can't speak highly enough. I've done a few interviews with Alan at Risborough and have expressed that. I mean, I couldn't be happier.
Nice one. So, we've already alluded to it, haven't we? And for most people, it'll be no secret, because if they follow you on Twitter, it's either Arsenal, the greatest team on the planet, or it's basically Arteta out, isn't it?
That's basically me, mate. Yeah, I'm a bit fickle when it comes to Arsenal.
Yeah, so obviously, massive gooner, likewise. I still have hopes tonight, I say, but realistically, I don't think we're going to be close. But who is your favourite player of all time, whether it be Arsenal or anyone else?
I mean, if you're from a biased point of view, it's Thierry Henry.
Yeah,
it's an easy one for me.
Yeah.
Him or Vieira. I mean, as I was growing up, was obviously as a centre midfielder, I'd probably say Vieira really at push. I mean, Henry was literally unplayable. I'll never forget growing up with my dad and just turning it on, and he was just unbelievable. But sort of since I was younger, it's always been Gerrard. I've always loved Steven Gerrard. Just the way he plays, his mannerisms, his leadership, everything. I just think he's probably close to the all-round football I've ever seen live. So for me, obviously Gerrard, but obviously from a biased point of view, Vieira or Henry.
And both of them are doing cracking in the managerial field, aren't they, at the minute?
Yeah, I mean, I thought Vieira might have a sniff, obviously, when Arteta came in. I think he was linked with a job, but I think it was probably a bit too soon. And to be honest, mate, with the Arteta scenario, I think he has to be given time. I really do. I think we spent a lot of money in the summer, and now he's got his team. I mean, there's signs of improvement massively. I mean, that fourth spot's up for grabs, in my opinion. So we will see, mate. I mean, he's got to the end of the season, in my opinion, and that will determine. Obviously, the Carabao Cup would be nice to win a trophy, but I can't see us beating Liverpool over 2 legs. But I really feel that we could finish 4th.
Well, the bookies don't think so either. Last time I checked, it was 4-1 on Arsenal.
What, to win tonight?
No.
Yeah. I'll take the draw with bells on, mate.
Yeah, I think we all would. Just pray they even score an own goal or something, or a penalty. Let's see what happens. Right, your playing career, Ben, because you're if I'm wrong, right? You're 34 now, yeah?
5, mate, 5. Well, I'll take 34 though.
Shut
yeah,
up.
35. Only recently, mate, in November.
Right, okay, bloody hell. We could have lied then. Right, so 35 now. You've had quite a glittering career, haven't you, in non-league football?
I've done all right, mate. I've done okay, yeah.
Done a bit of background checking, right? So correct me if I'm wrong.
This could be interesting.
Holmer Green.
Yeah, how to spell that?
Good. Chalfont.
Yeah.
Slough.
Yeah.
Obviously Binfield.
Yeah.
Obviously Flatwell.
Yeah.
Obviously Tabe.
Yeah.
And Risborough. Is that right?
3 months at Hollyport, mate, in between Slough but yeah, pretty much bang on to the money, mate. That's me. That is me since I was 17 years old.
Wow. So looking back then, all that time, because it's a long time then, isn't it?
It is a long time, yeah.
So what, 19 years, 18 years, whatever it is.
Yeah.
What for you have been the real standout moments in that time?
Oh, this is quite an easy one, mate. Really, winning the league at Flatwell and being captain there was obviously. I mean, that side we had there is second to none, mate. And obviously, me being involved with best mates, obviously my 2 best men at my wedding were in that team, so we were in that environment together. Should have won the Vars that year. Personally, I think we should have. We got to the last 16 and lost to a team in Barnsley. So that was obviously, but I mean, we won everything, mate. We won every trophy that we competed in the Atlantic League. We won everything. So I mean, that is a fond moment in my heart, massively, regarding football. And obviously, obviously I had 4 seasons at Tame as well, which again, I mean, we had some great memories beating Corby and things like that. Brilliant, some great days out and some really good laughs, really, and fond memories. Same as Binfield again. I've tweeted many a time, a club that obviously I felt we should have won the league there as well, and we fell short. But again, they're probably the 3 that obviously in my heart.
Okay, so that's the team aspect. So let's look at you in terms of your actual playing. Is there 1 or 2 moments in terms of your playing, in terms of a match, which for you really, really stood out as your real highlight?
Probably playing at Wembley at the age of 11. A few of the boys in here would have heard of that one. That was quite a good one.
I think quite a few have by now.
Only a few do that. Before I'd slip that one in. I'll tell you what was obviously I scored a hat-trick against Oxford City one year for Flatwell, actually. Managed to get the match ball. That was quite good. I mean, as you know, mate, I am very team orientated. I'm not really fussed. I mean, these last 18 games for Risborough, I could have a 3 out of 10, and as long as we win, I'm not that fussed. Do you know what I mean? I'm quite like that. I mean, I probably won't be playing if I keep having 3s out of 10, but you know what I mean. But I don't know. I mean, there's nothing really that I could stand out and say, yeah, I mean, we beat Newport Pagnell in a Burks and Bucks Cup game for Flatwell. That was good. I mean, I played my best football under Graham Malcolm. I'm proud to say that. He's obviously not involved in the game anymore, but them 2 years at Flatwell were my most enjoyable, and I felt that was my best form. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing really that stands out, but I mean, I just like to win things, Carl. It's what we play for.
Yeah,
I've been starved. Yeah, I've been starved of it since I left Flatwell, really. I mean, we haven't won anything. I haven't won a trophy. So when I spoke to Mark regarding coming to Risborough and how well they'd done, it was something that was forthright in my mind. So yeah, it's an achievement that I want to achieve massively.
Yeah, well, YOLO, as the kids would say, isn't it? Really,
that's it, mate. That is it.
Once your play days are over, that's it. You just be full of regret. So
yeah, it's true.
Right. So just sort of mention, obviously, Mark Eaton, the gaffer at Risborough, just there. So how did that move to Risborough materialise? Some people obviously know, some people won't. But how?
Obviously. I obviously decided I had a conversation with Mark West at home, and I obviously decided that it was time a natural progression for me to move on. And obviously, I think that they felt the same as well. I think it was and I think it was just mutual from both of us that it was time for me maybe to move on. So anyway, I put a tweet out, as you do now these days. And Mark rang me about 6:30 on a Wednesday morning. So that was the first phone call. So so he was straight in there. Had a long chat with him, as he likes to do. Interesting chat, really sort of, I was done then. I mean, I was sold, I was done. I had a bit of interest, and that Wednesday was quite interesting. I mean, I had a few phone calls and had to make a decision, but to be honest, after I spoke to Mark, it was sort of done. He sold me the dream, as they say. And it's something that I would sort of had in my mind anyway. I mean, I felt personally that my time probably was coming to an end at Thames, so I was looking obviously to what would suit me. It's logistically, it's 10 minutes from my house, so everything sort of fell into place really.
So, because you sort of mentioned it, you had 4 years at Tame, obviously as the club captain.
Yeah.
So going to a new club after 4 years at Tame, and equally having been a real leader and club captain and all that, on and off the field, what were the challenge? What have been the challenges for you going to?
I'll be honest, mate. I'll be honest. For a 34-year-old man at the time, it was extremely difficult for me to do that.
Okay.
I feel I'm quite a confident personality, but it was difficult walking into a change room where I'm not afraid to say I'd upset a few of them players over the years through rivalries and stuff. Tame and Risborough, obviously rivalries. Similar scenario to Tame. I mean, me and Dan West used to have murders, and now sort of I was at his wedding. So I mean, it's funny how football can sort of throw itself. But yeah, I mean, it was difficult, mate. I remember going there on a Thursday night, and obviously Tame were training. Obviously, where we train at Tame on a Thursday night, so that was difficult seeing the boys and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, it was difficult, but personally, I feel that I fitted in really well, to be honest. And now, obviously, I class some of them as good mates as well, which is good. I mean, the vibe in the dressing room is unreal. So much so, I played Hadley on the first Saturday they were there. We won 5-0. And the song came on. I just didn't know what was going on, mate. It's a song that they play after every game, and I was like literally looking around the dressing room thinking, what's going on here? But I had a task of learning the song for the following Saturday because I knew it'd come around quickly again. So I mean, it's just little things like that, mate. The group's brilliant. I mean, it's an older group, so which helps. I think there's a winning mentality instilled in them, and they're all good lads, all of them. They're all brilliant. I mean, I'd go for a beer with all of them. So I mean, that tells a tale for me personally when it comes to football.
Nice one. Well said, Sturge. So within the squad then at Risborough, how many of that squad have you already played with in a team before?
So Super Azza, good old Azza at the centre half. Gotta love Azza. Obviously Milo's on loan from Marlow at the minute, so I managed to do a bit of groundwork and get him involved. He scored a few goals, bless him. Let's just hope we can keep him. Who else? Lowell Clark, can't forget Lowell. Yeah. Great link up with Lowell. Love Lowell, lovely lad. I think that's it, mate. I don't want to forget anyone. Oh, Mozza, of course.
Of course.
So Mozza over a lot of years as well. Flatwell, Binfield. Yeah, sorry, Moz. Yeah, forgot you, mate. But obviously Liam a brief spell at Tame before he left. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it was quite. Obviously, I had a chat with Azza when I was sort of coming in. Just dropped him a few messages as you did, and had a good chat in regarding Risborough and stuff. So yeah, I mean, the boys now are all of them they're good lads. So it's quite a comfortable environment, mate. And I'm not just on about that. I'm on about obviously the management side and Alan that does the media, people behind the bar. Everyone made me feel so welcome. So it was brilliant, mate. Really good.
Cool. So let's move on to the sort of management setup at Risborough. So how's it going with Mark Eaton?
I'll be honest, mate. His in-depth that he goes into opposition teams and the way he deals aside and everything from psychology to obviously playing styles. I mean, it's been a real eye opener. It's been really good, mate. I've really enjoyed it again. I mean, I've worked with some good people. Fortunately, I've had some good managers over my times. No bad words to say about any of them, really. They've all been brilliant in their different ways. I mean, Mark Talentart at Binfield gave me the opportunity to play centre midfield at Binfield. Was the first. Obviously, I was a right back. and I kept getting stripped all the time. So Sally was like, right, let's get you in the midfield. And first game was against Ben Gladwin at Marlow, so I'll never forget that. He was in the 10 and he just said, look, just stay with him the whole game, don't move from him. We ended up drawing 0-0. And that was a platform really for me to kick on really. And then obviously Graham Malcolm signed me and made me captain of Flatwell. And then that was that, mate. The rest is history, as they say.
So what Mark's approach is to the game? Obviously, you say he's quite in depth. So what?
Yeah, it is. I mean, tonight we'll go in and he'll in it, and obviously he'll set the VO up and he'll have highlights of who we're playing Saturday. He'll know about them. He'll know everything. He'll know their strengths. He'll know their weaknesses. We don't try to dwell on teams too much because I think sometimes that can have a negative effect on us. But yeah, we'll have a chat. We'll have a brief chat tonight, and then obviously Mark will set out the plans, and then Saturday we'll go again. I mean, Alex Seffi's jumped in assistant manager because obviously Paul Bonham left to go to Leighton, which obviously was a bit of a, I don't know, what you say, a bit of a shock really to start with. But I got on really well with Paul, to be fair. I only worked with him a brief time, and I really enjoyed our time working with him. But obviously we were told on a Tuesday night that he was left, and to be fair to Seffi, he steps into the role. He's a stats man, that's for sure. He's very in depth, and it's good. I mean, it works brilliantly, really. I think it's sort of fallen into place, really, the management side of it.
It's already got some likes there, giving Seffi a plug, I think.
That's probably Seffi liking him himself.
Who else is involved in the backroom side, Sturgess, at Risborough?
There's John Franklin. He's involved. We don't see him at training, though. He just turns up for matches. So good old John. He don't turn up to training. Who else have they got? Well, that's obviously Phil, the kit man, mate. Brilliant. Obviously, he's been there for years. Sort of people like that are involved in the club that don't get any mentions, really. They don't get any of the plaudits on Twitter and stuff. They just go unnoticed and put the kit out every week and make sure you've got everything. Do you know what I mean? The important stuff. So, yeah, that's it, mate. That's it, management-wise. I think sometimes you can have too many, can't you, involved? But I think, obviously, we've got the right balance.
So, those that perhaps haven't seen Risborough play yet, how would you describe their playing style, Sturge?
I would describe our playing style as when we're not playing on, obviously, a pitch that's waterlogged and thoroughly muddy and you can't pass the ball.
That is hard this time of year, isn't it?
It is, mate. It's been a nightmare, really. Not just our ground. Everyone's talking about our pitch, but I mean, everywhere is an absolute nightmare. It is what it is. But I would describe we're a passing footballing side, mate, to be honest. We like to play. We like to get it wide. Crosses in the box and obviously play through the lines as best as we can. We'll always try and play out when we can. But obviously your style suits the game, mate. I mean, if it needs to go long, it'll have to go long, and it went long against Tring and we scored. So, yeah, I mean, we do like to play. Naturally, the gaffer wants us to play. He wants us to be attractive on the eye. So, yeah, I mean, ideally we want to play the way football should be. I'm not really a believer of that. I believe the way football should be played is you win, and that's all I'm interested in. You can kick it long for 90 minutes, but if you win, that's all I'm fussed about. But yeah.
Okay. So for you, obviously a very experienced non-league footballer, Sturge. What for you are your likes and dislikes of non-league?
I am, as they call in the industry, busy. I am so busy, mate. I absolutely love it. I love everything that comes with it. I love the fitness side. I love the mentality. I love the challenges. I love everything, mate. I literally love it. Some people be like, you're 35, can't believe you're still chugging about on a football pitch. Do you know what I mean? But I literally live for it. I can't wait for Saturday. I can't wait for the following Saturday. My dislikes, mate, I'll be honest with you, since I came to Risborough, was we ended up playing a game at in Milton Keynes, and one of our lads got sin-binned. And I actually had to stand in the centre of the pitch, and I actually asked the ref what I didn't understand what was going on.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean he's going off the pitch for 10 minutes? He's like, sin bin. I was like, so that sort of knocked me for six a bit, to be honest. That was a real eye-opener. I don't really understand it. I don't get it. I don't see how it affects the game, to be honest. I mean, it might calm someone down, but I don't know. That's just a minute thing, mate. The dislike, there isn't many, mate. Sometimes when you've got to travel to the other side of the country, is a bit of a ball ache, to be honest. That becomes a bit of an issue. But, I mean, there isn't anything I dislike about it, mate. I love it. I literally love it, and I'll play as long as I can.
Well said. So you have got a young family, Sturge. So what does your average week look like with football and family life? How do you balance it?
Difficult, mate, at times. Having an understanding wife, that's for sure. I'm always quick to praise her because without her, I know
Hats
some
off,
people that,
I think.
yeah, definitely, mate, that couldn't play. So, I mean, I'm fortunate in that respect, and I'm fortunate the boys absolutely love football. So I can take them with me on a Saturday. Obviously, it was a big part of their life at Tame, and that was the hardest part, mate. When I'm on it, if I'm honest, when I left, to tell them that Harley, obviously being 7, is well into his football and plays. He didn't really understand it, so yeah, it was difficult. That was a hard bit for me, more than obviously the decision to leave personally, because obviously them being so involved at Tame and having friends there was hard. But yeah, I mean, it's not easy. But obviously, like tonight, I've got to leave the house at sort of 8:30 and come home at 10:30. But fortunately, I can get to put them to bed and little things like that, mate. But it's a challenge, but it's like anything, mate. You overcome it.
Yeah, and am I right in seeing or hearing your 2 boys were they mascots recently at Risborough?
No, they obviously. I was fortunate enough to be captain the last game actually against Tring.
Right.
Joel's obviously injured, the skipper, and Josh Urquhart, who's been immense for us, great player, had COVID. So the gaffer pulled me before the game and said to me, which was nice. Like it was really nice. For obviously I haven't been there long. For obviously I upset some of the boys, like the keeper Jack, that's been there a long time. He had the ump, but bless him, he'll be skipper one day. But yeah, the boys come on the pitch afterwards and they love it, mate. You know what it's like. They love being involved. Obviously, they were at Tame when I was captain. And I'm hoping to obviously do something towards the end of the season for them, hopefully.
Let's hope so. So, looking forward, personally for you as well as the team, what are surely there's only one objective, isn't there, for Risborough this season? There's only one objective.
There's one objective, mate, and obviously we all know what that is, and it doesn't really need to be discussed. I mean, it is what it is.
What, 3 years in the making?
Yeah, it will be, mate. It will be, and obviously it's a long way off. There's 18 games to go, so I'm one of them, mate. I literally, the year we won it at Flatwell, we were 12 points clear with 2 games in hand, and I still didn't believe we were going to win it. I'm very cautious, mate. I know how quickly football can change. We've got 2 very, very, very tough games that I know. Both teams, knowing them very well, a lot of their players, management will want to beat us. Will seriously want to knock that O off, as they say. So, I mean, that's why I don't like talking about unbeaten records and stuff, because sometimes I get blown up too much on what they are. Do you know what I mean? Saturday, you turn up at 3 o'clock and there's 22 players on the pitch, and they're the only ones that can affect what's going to happen. So, yeah, I mean, the objective is simple. Like you said, it's easy. There's one objective. But yeah, I just hope that we can achieve what we deserve to achieve personally, if I'm honest.
So no disrespect to any of the clubs we listed earlier, Serge, but you're in a different ball game now, because you guys are very much the top dogs. You've had all the national media, all the local media talking about Risborough week after week, right? So how does that differ from where you've played before?
I'll be honest, mate. I'm quite fortunate in the fact that I've experienced all this before, obviously at Flatwell. So I've sort of got that string to my bow. I know exactly sort of how to deal with it. And I just know, the thing is, mate, all you can control is what you can control. All you can control is when you walk out on the pitch, you give your 7, 8 out of 10. And if 11 players do that on our side, we'll win. And that's not arrogance, that's just, I know. Same as Flatwell, exactly the same. If them boys gave 7 out of 8 to 10, all of them, I knew we'd win. And that is the formula that we work to. There's no point worrying about people catching you or people talking nonsense. There's no point. There's no point wasting your energy on it. You just got to make sure your socks are rolled up come 3 o'clock Saturday.
Okay. So, obviously, you're very committed for this season.
Yep.
If they turned around and said to you next season, Sturge, do you see yourself there, do you think?
I don't see any reason why not, mate, no matter what happens, no matter what. I honestly thought that I would finish my career at Tame, if I'm honest, but it didn't work out. So that's how quickly things can change, mate. Things can change very quickly. I've loved my time at Risborough and I wouldn't change it for the world. So why wouldn't I stay there? I mean, the club's brilliant. So I just hope we get to achieve what we can achieve, and then who knows what will happen next season.
Cool. Well, it's a club only going one way, isn't it? Now they're just.
That's for sure, mate. That's for sure.
So I just had a little nose at the time, Sturge. So I'm going to actually
What we
finish
got?
off.
R7.
Yeah, I'm going to finish with one final question. So let's just look ahead, right, to the next game. So you boys are at Ardley away on Saturday, aren't
That's correct,
you?
mate. Yeah.
Ardley, from what I've seen, seems to be having a bit of an up and down season. Is that fair from what you've observed?
It's obviously league position, yeah. If you looked at it naturally, yeah, definitely, yeah.
But at home, though, they've won 50% of all the games they've played at home. So it could be,
I know, mate. I know their lineup. I know the players they've got. I've had many battles with them at Tame, many battles with them at Flatwell. That's how long it goes back. I mean, they'll have some good players. Let's not buy this. They're a good side, and on their day they'll beat anyone. So obviously the pitch is a factor there. I don't know if you've been there, but obviously there's a slope on it massively, so that will be a massive factor. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a tough afternoon. We know that. We know that. But again, like I said, there's no point worrying about them. We have to worry about ourselves. And obviously, if we perform, I'm confident. But football's a funny game, mate, and anything can happen on that day.
Absolutely. And again, it goes back to what we said, really, because you guys are the ones with the targets on your back at the minute, isn't it? So
It's a massive scout, mate. And definitely. And everyone will naturally raise their game against us, and that's another thing that we're going to have to deal with.
So who at the moment is struggling to play on Saturday in terms of fitness-wise at the moment? Who's out?
I think we've got a full squad, mate. Personally, I think I'm not going to disclose too many secrets, but but honestly, mate, I do. I think we'll be full strength. Hopefully, we have had a couple of COVID cases, which are now back, thank God. A couple of lads with obviously Lewis, our left back, a young lad who's done really well. Another good lad. He sort of tweaked his hamstring against Tring. His shout was louder than his scream was louder than his hamstring pull there. But he'll be okay, I think. So yeah, I think we're fine, mate. Bill of health. You never know with COVID and stuff. It could all change tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure, mate, we'll be okay.
Go on, let's touch on that quick then. How have you found this time, the last 2 years with COVID and non-league football?
It's been difficult, mate. It's been a nightmare, really, to be honest with you. It really has been a nightmare. I sort of contracted it when England played the Euros as Luke Early and Dan Westphal. We ended up going to Wembley and I got it, but I was okay, mate. I mean, I was in bed for a day and then obviously I didn't have it too bad. Right. But from a personal experience, I know people that have my age and have had it bad. So, I mean, I'm not going to get all political on it, but it's been difficult, mate. And obviously it's affected the season. And to be honest, mate, at one stage before Christmas, I felt that the season was going to get paused, if I'm honest. And that was a real big, I mean, before Christmas, I felt that was coming, but hopefully, touch wood, it looks like we've come out the other side of it. But I know it's affected a lot of clubs and it's not great. You just look at the Premier League. Some teams have played 21, some have played 18. It's just, it's not great, mate, is it really? But I mean, my personal opinion is it, I feel we just have to live with it, but obviously everyone's different. So we will see.
Well, hopefully as science tells you, people become more immune to things. Hopefully we'll be at a different point after this season. We'd like to think by come pre-season, surely we've got to be in a better position with it.
I'd hope so. To be honest, mate, I thought it'd be this year, but obviously that didn't come to fruition. But
honest, like you said, we all did.
No, you're very true, mate. Very true.
So obviously, you're going to score on Saturday.
I'm due one, I tell you. I scored in a big game, mate, recently. It was a hell of a goal as well. Great finish, I tell you. Proper goal it was, mate. But yeah, I mean, I'd like one, mate. I'm due one. I made some more runs to the box than I usually did against Tring, so we'll see, mate. We'll see. I don't care. As long as we win, I'm not fussed, mate. I couldn't care less.
It will probably be no surprise if Milo ends up getting on the score sheet because he's.
Let's hope so, mate. Let's hope so. He's been doing really well for us. Everyone knows Milo's pedigree. He's a goal scorer, so that is what he needs to do and keep doing it for a long time for us. Hopefully till April.
Yeah. Well, Sturge, we will. I think we'll wrap it up there, bud, because I want to make sure that you hopefully get some food in you and stuff before you have to.
Yeah, I'm going to watch the Gooners, mate, as well. So I could be. The boys better bring some shin pads because if we're cutting 2-0 down, I'm going to have the ump. So could get a bit lively at training tonight.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sturgess. It's an absolute pleasure always to talk to you.
No, pleasure as well, mate. Brilliant, mate. Appreciate your time.
No problem whatsoever. And obviously, all the best for Saturday. And I'm hoping before too long I will be coming to watch you at Risborough as well. So
brilliant, mate. I'd love to see you down there, mate. Top man.
Lovely.
Cheers, Carl. Thanks, mate. Bye bye.
Bye, bud.